Whoa. Hi. Sometimes it doesn't start, so that was a bit weird. Anyways, hi. I'm Christoph. In case any of you guys are new here, nobody watches these anyways. But hello, if you guys are. Thank you for watching. I'm currently on my porch right now. It's raining outside, so I'll make this pretty quick, hopefully. But I wanted to talk to you guys about my favorite topic, probably of all time, video games. Now, I've been playing video games since I was super young, and I've continued to play them a lot, especially recently with Corona going on. And I think within the past year, especially going into college and everything, I think I've realized how much I really love them just overall. And there's a couple reasons to that. There's actually a lot of reasons. I can't go over all of them because this video would be way too long, but I have a couple that are like the core tenets that really build the foundation that I thought I'd share with you guys. If you guys have any reasons why you love video games, maybe put it in the comments, and I'll definitely read them and I'll I'll respond. But why do I love video games? Right, that's the question. And I was pondering this the other day, and I came up upon like I would say five or six different reasons. The first one is community. Community is something that is strives in every video game that I play, whether it's like a toxic community or a really tight community. There's a sense of community, and there's worth in being a part of that. Whether you're playing a MOBA such as League of Legends or a MMO such as World of Warcraft, you're involved in something greater, and that's really shown from working with teammates, helping one another, being admired by other players who are better than you. All these aspects of a community help build a stronger game, and they bring people closer together. Right now, I feel the most comfortable talking to other people who also play video games. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but a lot of times when there's an esports going on or there's a competition, which we'll get to, that's another tenet. I want to talk about it all the time with people around me, but most of the time they don't have a clue of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about AoE, DPS. I'm talking about different champions or hero abilities, and that's all gargled to a lot of other people, which is unfortunate. But the community of being able to understand that jargon is kind of what I mean. I really love it. Okay, the next one, progression is important. Leveling up in a game, getting stronger gear, getting better ranked in terms of competitive atmosphere, all that is awesome. Oh, it's kind of that mentality of from zero to hero. You start here, and often with video games, there's a sense of getting better or going up. Something like Dark Souls, you're killing more monsters, you're getting more souls, getting more powerful. Something like an MMO where you're getting more levels, or like Skyrim, how you start off very weak, but you get new gear such as weapons, armor. All that's really fantastic, and it makes you feel like a total badass at the end. Yeah, I love progression. I think something to talk about with regard to real life, like sitting here with you guys. If I wanted to get good at running or cooking, let's say, I'd have to do that every day for probably about a year, a month, 2 months, a long time. Maybe not a year, but a long time. In a video game, it's like simpler most of the time. You just sit down, you play your character for X amount of time, and you start getting like upgrades in terms of your gear or skill points or talents, or there's always some augment that makes you feel stronger, and it's fast. And that fast feeling is very rewarding, which is why I think a lot of players like it. When games are kind of doled out, a lot of times these skills don't come in very fast, and I prefer the games where it feels like I'm always getting something new, or there's something new to be gained around the corner that isn't too far away. That's what I really like. The next thing that ties nicely into the progression is fantasy. So I mentioned Skyrim, right? Like I go to school. I don't go outside that often because of video games. But things like Skyrim, they place me in this kind of like Nordic, snowy biome world filled with Vikings and dragons and vampires and werewolves, and the fantasy of being in kind of that medieval type of world with no technology is just crazy. Or maybe with the cyberpunk 2077 coming out later this year, that's another example. Being able to transport yourself into another world that you aren't currently in is fantastic. And the reason that's cool is because you can often play as or be someone who you aren't. I think that's really powerful because it lets you gain different perspectives. So at my university right now, I'm a computer science and German major. The reason I'm a German major, which is maybe a bit odd to some of you, I'm not the best German speaker, but I really love it because of the perspectives that it gives me. me being American, I think a certain way. You have to realize that people in Germany, they think a certain way. So my logic is if I learn more about someone else's culture, I can kind of broaden my horizons and think differently. And I think it's similar to video games. Whether you're playing as a female or a male, hopefully the game has different things for you guys to encounter and learn about each other. Or maybe it's an orc. That's probably a better example. Orcs are, they're kind of treated terribly, or a goblin, in comparison to like a human or a high elf. They're kind of the rungs of society, but that's kind of that's like at a stereotype level. What you can do in terms of game design and playing these games is really learn who these characters are and their history, and the whole idea is getting rid of those stereotypes. People are a lot more complex than they appear to be. Germans don't just wear lederhosen and drink beer every day. They do enjoy beer, but they don't do it all the time. I'm an American. I haven't ordered McDonald's in years. Define stereotypes, I think, is something that video games can do really nicely, and they give you different perspectives through that element of fantasy. Okay. The next one I kind of hinted at earlier is competition. Competition to me is it's magical. One team versus another team, one player versus another player, one esport versus another esport. The biggest one that points out to me right now is the International, or Dota 2. This is a Valve game, and what it is a 5-player versus 5-player kind of all-out brawl, and it's a MOBA, Massive Online Battle Arena, I believe is what it stands for. And they play these little characters, they buy items, they get kills, they go around this map, and they interact with each other. And that interaction, and each team having a goal in mind, in terms of the goal is to win, is super awesome, because new strategies emerge, and it kind of hinges on a lot of the elements I already talked about, such as the progression of getting better. Being the best in your game is like a feeling that a lot of people die for. And it's like the sense of community. I love when there's a whole crowd of people who loves Team A, and there's an even larger crowd that loves Team B. Not to mention the people who always chant TSM at any video game, esports, etc. in the world. Those people are a bit odd, but even that shows how competition in video games can really build something special. I think it's awesome. One other thing I want to talk about is visuals. This is maybe a little bit different than a competition, obviously, but some of my favorite things are seeing different parts of the world that I don't normally get to experience. So, some of my favorite things include things like winter, being up on the high mountain. Like I said, I don't go outside that much, so I don't go hiking too often. I'm not super active a lot of the time. So video games are a really awesome replacement for that. And when you can just sit in a world and really value the particles and the scene, and they all kind of develop to create this mood or this theme that projects some sort of message, that's when everything clicks. Whether that message is survival, or every man for himself, or family. When designers connect their game elements to a theme, and it's very clear, and it just slots right in, it's something to be blown away by, and I love when games do that. I love that. I realize I'm saying I love that after everything. It's because I really do. I really do love video games. And I know a lot of people who don't like video games, actually, which is kind of unfortunate. I think they're a bit misunderstood. There's I think maybe like early 2010s, there's been like this negative connotation around video games being maybe too gory or too mature or ahead of their times or brain numbing or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I think video games can be used as a tool to help build confidence in kids, help build communities, build friendships. I remember when I was younger, some of my favorite memories are playing video games, whether it was like Borderlands 2 or Diablo 3. I still get more excited than anything when a new release for an expansion comes out or a new game comes out. Like, it still has that effect on me every time, and I don't think it'll ever go away. And I don't want it to ever go away. I love video games. I hope you guys love video games as well. Tell me in the comments why you love video games. I'm really excited to hear your guys' answers. Well, it stopped raining, but I think it's time for me to go inside. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.